A marathon runner crosses the Boston Marathon finish line first, only for the world to learn she joined the race near the end. In another case, a soccer player is caught on live TV nudging the ball forward with his toes, turning the moment into comedy more than competition. And then some fishermen try to claim prizes by slipping weights into their catch.
Got weights and fit!
There we go! Out of here!
These are moments witnessed by millions. Some athletes ask for forgiveness.
So it is with a great amount of shame that I stand before you and tell you that I have betrayed your trust.
Others deny, and a few even brag about their tricks. How far will someone go to win? Stay tuned, because these stories will challenge what you think about fair play. Rosie Ruiz became infamous for her apparent victory in the 1980 Boston Marathon, only to have her title stripped for cheating. She finished in 2 hours, 31 minutes, 56 seconds, a time far faster than expected for an amateur. Yet fellow runners and spectators could not recall seeing her along the course, raising doubts that she had run the full race. An investigation exposed inconsistencies in her story and no record of her at several checkpoints. A witness reported seeing her join the course about a mile from the finish line, confirming suspicions. Further scrutiny revealed a troubling pattern, including her later disqualification from the 1979 New York City Marathon for similar misconduct. Ultimately, Boston officials removed her from the results and awarded the win to Jacqueline Guerrero, the rightful champion. Tony Romo is a former quarterback who spent his entire NFL career with the Dallas Cowboys. After playing college football at Eastern Illinois University, he joined the Cowboys as an undrafted free agent in 2003. Despite his underdog status, Romo rose to become the team's starting quarterback in 2006 and went on to earn 4 Pro Bowl selections. Known for his improvisational style of play, Romo occasionally blurred the line between gamesmanship and rule bending. In a 2012 game against the Philadelphia Eagles, he was caught on camera nudging the ball forward with his toe before a measurement. The trick was too obvious to fool anyone and wasn't penalized, but it became a lighthearted example of how even minor attempts to gain an advantage are spotted by ever-present TV cameras. Despite her impressive track record, Canadian triathlete Julie Miller shocked many by appearing to win her age group at Ironman Canada 2015 in Whistler, BC. However, she had won her division at Ironman Canada 2013 in Whistler, as well as her age group at the 2014 E2 Long Distance Triathlon World Championships in Weihai, China. Several competitors reported that they had not seen her on the course in Whistler. According to investigators, her timing chip data and reported splits suggested she had not completed the entire race. Following a review, Miller was disqualified. She continues to deny wrongdoing, but the official results stand. Marion Jones is a former world champion track and field athlete from the USA and a former professional basketball player, best remembered for her role in a doping scandal. A standout in both sports as a teenager, she rose to international prominence by winning the 100m at the 1997 World Championships in Athens. In the lead-up to the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Jones declared her goal of winning gold in all 5 of her events. She ultimately won 3 gold medals, in the 100m, 200m, and 4x400m relay events, and 2 bronze medals in the long jump and 4x100m relay events, though suspicions grew, particularly after her then-husband CJ Hunter tested positive for nandrolone before the Games. Jones denied wrongdoing for years, but in October 2007 she admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs and lying to federal investigators. The International Olympic Committee stripped her of all 5 Sydney medals, and in January 2008, she was sentenced to 6 months in prison for lying about doping and her involvement in a check fraud scheme. After her release, she gave a high-profile interview with Oprah Winfrey. Do you think Marion Jones's legacy should be defined more by her athletic achievements or by the doping scandal that brought her career down? Let us know in the comments below. With $28,750 in prize money on the line, fishing professionals Jacob Runyan and Chase Cominsky were caught cheating at the Lake Erie Walleye Trail Tournament in Cleveland, Ohio on September 30, 2022. Tournament director Jason Fisher grew suspicious when their fish seemed unusually heavy, and upon cutting them open, he discovered lead weights and walleye fillets stuffed inside. The dramatic scene was caught on video, with outraged competitors shouting, and it quickly went viral worldwide. The pair were disqualified and later arrested. In March 2023, they pleaded guilty to felony cheating as part of a deal that dropped other charges. Both were sentenced to 10 days in jail, 1.5 years of probation, a $2,500 fine, and had their fishing licenses suspended for 3 years. They also forfeited Cominsky's $100,000 fishing boat. The scandal became one of the most infamous cheating cases in competitive fishing history. The 2019 Kentucky Derby, the 145th running, should have been a celebration of horse racing, but ended in controversy. Maximum Security, ridden by Ruiz, crossed the finish line first after leading most of the race. However, stewards reviewed an objection after the colt veered outward on the final turn, impeding several other horses, including War of Will, Long Range Toddy, and Boat Express. Following a lengthy deliberation, Maximum Security was disqualified and placed 17th out of 19, and the victory was awarded to Country House, ridden by Flavian Pratt. Saez argued that his horse had been startled by crowd noise, but he was later suspended for 15 days for failing to control his mount. It was the first time in Kentucky Derby history that the apparent winner was disqualified for interference. Rivaldo, widely regarded as one of the greatest Brazilian footballers of all time, had a glittering career that included a World Cup title in 2002, a Ballon d'Or in 1999, and stints at clubs such as Barcelona and AC Milan. But like many top players, he was also known for occasional gamesmanship, particularly the art of exaggerating contact to sway referees. One of the most famous examples came during the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Brazil's group stage match against Turkey. As Rivaldo prepared to take a corner in the final minutes, Turkish defender Hakan Ünsal kicked the ball toward him in frustration. Though it struck him on the leg, Rivaldo clutched his face and collapsed theatrically. Ünsal, already on a yellow card, was sent off. FIFA later reviewed the incident and fined Rivaldo for simulation, making it a textbook case of diving in football and a lasting reminder that even world-class players sometimes resort to theatrics. At the 2013 BMW Masters in Shanghai, English golfer Simon Dyson was caught pressing down a spike mark on his line of putt with a ball, a breach of Rule 16(1)A. Because he failed to add the required 2-stroke penalty and signed for an incorrect score, he was disqualified from the tournament. The European Tour referred the matter to a disciplinary panel, which fined him about $49,000 and imposed a 2-month suspension, thus suspended for 18 months, as a probationary period. Although Dyson apologized, he insisted it was an accidental mistake. The case underscored how even seemingly small infractions can carry major consequences in a sport built on integrity and self-policing. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share it with your friends too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. Dwight Howard is a professional basketball player known for his athleticism, rebounding, and shot-blocking ability. Over his career, he has earned 8 NBA All-Star selections, 5 All-NBA First-Team honors, and 3 consecutive NBA Defensive Player of the Year awards from 2009 to 2011. His best years came with the Orlando Magic, leading them to the 2009 NBA Finals, where they fell to the Los Angeles Lakers. In March 2016, while playing for the Houston Rockets against the Atlanta Hawks, Howard was seen applying stickum spray to his hands during a game. The use of adhesives is banned under NBA rules, making the act a violation. However, Howard faced no fine or suspension, which raised questions about the consistency of rule enforcement in professional basketball. Sports coaches are often seen as competitive yet fair, but in 2010, New York Jets strength and conditioning coach Sal Alosi broke that mold in dramatic fashion. On December 12th, during a game against the Miami Dolphins, Alosi stuck out his knee to trip Miami cornerback Nolan Carroll as he ran down the sideline on punt coverage. It later emerged that Alosi had also instructed inactive Jets players to form a wall along the sideline to obstruct opponents. The Jets suspended him indefinitely and fined him $25,000. Though he later apologized, the damage was done, and Alosi resigned from his position in early 2011. The episode became a reminder that unsportsmanlike conduct isn't limited to players. Coaches too can cross the line in the heat of competition. Racing in the 2015 Vuelta a España, Italian cyclist Vincenzo Nibali got into trouble early when he crashed on stage 2 and lost contact with the peloton. In an attempt to regain ground, Nibali grabbed onto his Astana team car and was visibly towed back into contention, a maneuver clearly caught on television cameras. While brief sticky bottle assistance is sometimes overlooked, the extent of Nibali's tow left no doubt it was deliberate. He was promptly disqualified from the race, and Astana sports director Alexander Scheffer, who was driving the car, was also expelled. Nibali later admitted fault and apologized, but the incident became a striking example of how even elite riders can make reckless choices under pressure. Do you think Vincenzo Nibali's disqualification was the right call, or should officials have been more lenient given the pressure and circumstances of the race? Let us know in the comments below. On June 16, 1983, at Madison Square Garden, Luis Resto fought undefeated prospect Billy Collins Jr. in a 10-round bout. Collins was attacked and seriously injured. After the fight, Collins's father, who was in his corner, shook Resto's hand and immediately noticed something wrong with the gloves. It was discovered that the padding had been removed, giving Resto an illegal and devastating advantage. The New York State Athletic Commission banned both Resto and his trainer, Carlos Panama Lewis, for life. In 1986, they were convicted of assault, conspiracy, and criminal possession of a weapon, serving more than 2 years in prison. Resto never fought again. Collins, left with permanent eye damage, was told he could never box again. He passed away in a car accident in 1984, making the case one of boxing's most notorious scandals, where cheating had consequences far beyond the ring. When debates arise about baseball's greatest players, George Brett's name is always in the mix. Alongside his Hall of Fame career, he is forever linked to one of the sport's most famous controversies, the pine tar game. On July 24, 1983, Brett's Kansas City Royals faced the New York Yankee Stadium. In the top of the ninth, Brett hit a 2-run homer off Goose Gossage to put the Royals ahead 5-4. Yankees manager Billy Martin then challenged Brett's bat, claiming the pine tar extended beyond the 18 inches permitted by MLB rules. The umpires agreed, nullified the home run, and called Brett out, ending the game. Brett exploded from the dugout in a rage that became legendary. The Royals protested, and American League President Lee MacPhail later reinstated the home run, ruling the bat illegal but the hit valid. When the game was resumed 25 days later from that point, Kansas City held on to win 5-4. The incident became known as the Pine Tar Game and remains one of baseball's most memorable controversies. On June 22, 1986, in the FIFA World Cup quarter-final between Argentina and England at Mexico City's Estadio Azteca, the score was 0-0 in the 51st minute when Diego Maradona jumped for a ball near England goalkeeper Peter Shilton. Using his left hand, he punched it into the net. With no video review available, Tunisian referee Ali bin Nasser allowed the goal to stand despite England's furious protests. After the match, Maradona described it as scoring a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God, a phrase that became legendary. Remarkably, just 4 minutes later, he dribbled past half the England team to score what would later be voted FIFA's goal of the century. The contrast of the infamous hand of God and his dazzling solo strike in the same game perfectly captured both the controversial and brilliant sides of Maradona's genius. The moment remains one of the most debated in World Cup history. During the 2017 season and part of 2018, the Houston Astros became the focus of one of Major League Baseball's most talked about controversies. The story came to light in November 2019, when former Astros pitcher Mike Fiers revealed that the team had used a camera system in center field to decode the signs catchers gave to pitchers. Those signals were then passed along to batters in real time through a now famous system of banging on a trash can in the dugout. This method gave Astros hitters advanced knowledge of the type of pitch on the way, changing the dynamics at the plate. In response, MLB issued a $5 million fine, the largest permitted under its constitution, along with the loss of the team's first and second round draft picks in 2020 and 2021. The league also suspended general manager Jeff Luhnow and manager A.J. Hinch, both of whom were later released from their roles by the Astros. Do you think the Astros' punishment fit the scale of the sign-stealing scandal, or should MLB have come down even harder on the team and its players? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel to discover more interesting things. American figure skater Tonya Harding gained notoriety in 1994 after her connection to an attack on rival Nancy Kerrigan. Harding's ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, and her bodyguard, Sean Eckert, arranged for Kerrigan to be assaulted before the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Detroit. On January 6th, during a practice session at Cobo Arena, Kerrigan was attacked in the knee. Initially, Harding denied involvement, but later admitted to helping cover up the attack after it occurred. The incident triggered a media frenzy and intense scrutiny of Harding's career and personal life. She pleaded guilty to conspiring to hinder prosecution and was sentenced to probation, community service, and a fine. In June 1994, the U.S. Figure Skating Association banned her for life, effectively ending her competitive career and permanently damaging her reputation. The attack remains one of the most infamous scandals in sports history. Ben Johnson is a Canadian sprinter who gained global fame after winning the 100 meters at the 1988 Seoul Olympics, setting a world record of 9.79 seconds. Just days later, however, his triumph collapsed into scandal when a post-race test revealed the anabolic steroid stanozolol. Johnson was stripped of his gold medal and world record, and he received a 2-year ban from competition. The case shocked the sporting world, damaged his reputation, and ignited fierce debate about doping, fair play, and the integrity of athletics. Johnson returned to competition in 1991 but never regained his dominance. In 1993, he tested positive again and was handed a lifetime ban. His downfall became a watershed moment in sports history, prompting more rigorous anti-doping policies and reshaping how performance-enhancing drugs were viewed in international competition. NASCAR driver Clint Bowyer has enjoyed a decorated career, but in 2013 he became the center of one of the sport's biggest controversies. On September 7th at the Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond International Raceway, Bowyer spun out with 7 laps remaining, bringing out a caution. The timing of the spin shuffled the field in a way that helped his Michael Waltrip Racing teammate, Martin Truex Jr., secure a spot in the chase for the Sprint Cup. Although Bowyer denied deliberately spinning, radio communication strongly suggested otherwise. NASCAR investigated and penalized Michael Waltrip Racing with a $300,000 fine and a 50-point deduction for each of its 3 drivers, Bowyer, Truex Jr., and Brian Vickers. Truex was removed from the chase, and Ryan Newman was given his place. The Richmond spin scandal showed how team tactics in NASCAR can cross into manipulation, and how modern race monitoring makes such schemes almost impossible to hide. Alex Rodriguez, also known as Rod, is a former Major League Baseball star who played for the Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, and New York Yankees. Considered one of the most talented players of his era, his career was also marred by controversy. In 2009, Rodriguez admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs during his years with the Rangers from 2001 to 2003, citing pressure to justify his then-record $252 million contract. In 2013, he was implicated in the biogenesis scandal, which revealed that he had obtained banned substances from a now-defunct Florida clinic. After lengthy appeals, Rodriguez was suspended for the entire 2014 season, the longest paid suspension in MLB history at the time. Off the field, his celebrity relationships, including those with Madonna and Cameron Diaz, drew tabloid attention, as did reports linking him to illegal poker games. Combined with his massive Yankees contract and stretches of underperformance, these controversies fueled debate over whether he was worth the investment. Rodriguez's career remains a cautionary tale of how ped use can overshadow even Hall of Fame caliber achievements. NFL guard Mark Schlereth became known not just for his toughness but also for one of the more unusual cheating controversies in league history. On November 16, 1998, during a Monday night football game between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders, officials noticed that several Broncos linemen were unusually slippery. After a complaint, Schlereth was ordered off the field to have a slimy substance wiped off, later revealed to be Vaseline. Along with teammates Brian Habib and Gary Zimmerman, Schlereth was fined $5,000 by the NFL. What made the case memorable was Schlereth's defiance. He later spoke openly about the tactic, calling it creative rather than dishonest. The incident highlighted a different era of professional football, when certain forms of gamesmanship, even technically against the rules, were often shrugged off as part of the sport's culture. That's all from the scandalous world of sports cheating. From marathon shortcuts to doctored fishing catches, these 20 athletes remind us that the temptation to gain an unfair advantage exists at every level of competition. What's particularly striking about these cases is how the athletes involved seem to forget that in our modern world, cameras are everywhere, and nothing stays hidden for long. Some of these cheaters showed genuine remorse, others doubled down on their actions, and a few even seemed proud of their rule-breaking creativity. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Which of these cheating incidents shocked you the most? Do you think some of these athletes deserved harsher punishments, or were the consequences appropriate? And have you ever witnessed cheating in sports yourself, whether at the professional or amateur level? Check out the other cool things that are showing up on the screen, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this deep dive into sports scandals, make sure to subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of athletics. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.